There's a video out about AI proof jobs that has over 500,000 views, and the comments section is full of people asking the same question: is cybersecurity safe? I'm going to answer that today, and I'm not going to give you the answer you've probably heard before. I'm not going to say hackers don't take days off or AI can't catch every threat. I'm going to show you data from 42 real job postings pulled between February and May 2026. And what that data shows is that one specific role inside cybersecurity isn't just AI proof. AI is actively creating more demand for it. That role is GRC, Governance, Risk, and Compliance. And the senior individual contributor positions are posting at up to 200,000. Let me show you exactly why. Here's what most people assume when they think about AI and compliance work. They assume AI handles the paperwork, the evidence collection, the repetitive documentation, and they're not wrong. It does. So the natural conclusion is AI reduces the need for GRC professionals. Less manual work, fewer people needed. That conclusion is wrong, and the data proves it. Between 2024 and 2026, demand for AI governance roles, a specific category within GRC, grew 81% year over year. At the same time, 98.5% of organizations report that they don't have adequate staffing for AI governance. That is not a field being replaced by AI. That is a field being created by AI. Here's why that's happening and why it matters for your career. There are 4 reasons why GRC is structurally resistant to AI replacement. And I want to be specific, not vague, because it matters. Reason 1, compliance requires human accountability. When your company goes through a SOC 2 audit, a real auditor asks real questions and a real person has to answer. When a regulator investigates a breach, they want a human being who is accountable for the compliance program. When an enterprise customer sends a 200-question security questionnaire, someone has to own that response and stand behind it. AI can prepare the documentation, AI can draft the answers, but AI cannot be the accountable party. The GRC professional is the person the auditor, the regulator, and the customer are actually trusting. Reason 2, risk judgment is organizational and not computational. AI can tell you a risk exists. It can model the probability and the impact. What it cannot do is make the business judgment about whether your specific organization with your specific risk appetite in your specific regulated environment should accept, mitigate, transfer, or avoid that risk. That judgment requires understanding the business strategy, the stakeholder dynamics, the regulatory relationships, and the consequences of being wrong. That's a human function. Reason 3, AI creates new compliance obligations. Every AI system a company deploys creates new risk, new data handling questions, new model governance requirements, new vendor risk assessments, new regulatory obligations. Like the EU AI Act reached general applications in 2026, and ISO 42001 is now a real enterprise requirement. Every AI tool your company buys is a new item on the GRC team's plate. AI isn't eliminating GRC work, it's generating more of it. Reason 4, regulators want to talk to people. This one is simple. Regulatory relationships with auditors, with government agencies, with enterprise customers are built on human trust. A regulator does not want to speak to your AI. They want to speak to your CISO or your compliance officer. That dynamic is not going to change. I want to show you the actual numbers because this is where I think a lot of AI proof jobs content falls apart. It makes the argument, but it doesn't have the receipts. I analyzed 42 GRC job postings from February through May 2026. Here's what the data shows. AI governance demand grew 81% year over year. That's not a projection. That's what the job market actually did. Standalone senior individual contributor AI governance roles like senior AI governance manager or algorithm bias auditor or AI ethics officer are now advertising at 190,000 to 250,000 median. Those roles didn't meaningfully exist 3 years ago. 98.5% of organizations reporting inadequate staffing for AI governance. The supply demand gap is severe and it is not closing fast because the knowledge base is genuinely new. And here's the one that surprised me the most. Real job postings from 2026 are now explicitly listing utilizing AI-enabled tools to support compliance assessments as a core GRC job responsibility. AI isn't replacing the GRC role, it's being added to the GRC role as a skill requirement. The GRC professional who learns to use AI well for evidence collection, for questionnaire drafts, for risk documentation becomes more productive and more valuable, not less. GRC engineering roles specifically, which combine compliance frameworks with Python automation and cloud tooling, are posting starting at 158,000 and going up to 220,000. These are the highest paying senior individual contributor GRC roles in the current market, and they require a human who understands both the compliance logic and the technical implementation. AI cannot do both. So let me be more specific about what the GRC professional who thrives in the AI era actually looks like. It's not the one who refuses to engage with AI tools. It's not the one who says, I do this manually because judgment matters. That person is going to be outcompeted by the person who uses AI for the administrative layer and brings full human judgment to everything that matters. The winning profile is the one who uses AI to handle the evidence collection, the first drafts of policies, the questionnaire intake process, and then brings strategic risk thinking, stakeholder communication, accountability to the work that AI cannot touch. I personally use Claude Cowork for the administrative layer of my GRC workflow. Task organization, document drafts, tracking open items. What used to take hours now takes minutes. That time goes back into the analysis and the stakeholder conversations that actually build trust and drive decisions. And then on top of that foundation, you add the AI governance expertise, ISO 42001, NIST AI, RMF, EU AI Act compliance. You become the person who not only uses AI responsibly in your workflow, but also helps your organization use AI responsibly across theirs. That combination, AI augmented productivity plus AI governance expertise, is the role the market cannot fill fast enough right now. I want to be honest about one thing before I close. Not every GRC role is AI proof. The roles that are most at risk are purely documentation heavy, low judgment, repetitive compliance tasks that don't require significant organizational knowledge or stakeholder trust. If your GRC work is primarily filling out spreadsheets and copying and pasting evidence, that portion of the role will be automated. The answer isn't to fight that. The answer is to move up the value stake. More risk judgment, more stakeholder relationships, more AI governance expertise, more technical depth and automation. The GRC professionals who invest in those areas right now are not competing with AI. They're the ones organizations need to govern AI. The one cybersecurity job AI cannot touch isn't being protected from AI, it's being built around it. GRC specifically, AI governance, is one of the fastest growing, highest compensating, and most supply constraint role in the current job market. The data says so, the job postings say so, and the regulatory environment is only adding more pressure in the same direction. If you want to follow the space, the career data, the AI governance trends, the practical skills, subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Thursday. Drop a comment below. What's your biggest question about GRC as a career or about AI governance specifically? I'm building my content calendar around what you actually want to know. I'll see you Tuesday.